Hi. It's been a while. I, guys, I have been so sick for literally a month now. It started before Christmas. I got norovirus. Super don't recommend. Was better for like a week. Then I got COVID, and that hit me really hard. And then the COVID infected my tonsils, and I got tonsillitis, it sucks. If you've never had tonsillitis, yeah, it sucks. It's so much worse than you could even imagine. It was incredibly painful, and I missed 2 weeks of school, which is great. So I've been just playing catch up with school and trying to feel better for the past couple of weeks now. So yeah, that's why I wanted to film like a week after my first, or like a week after my second video, but I just have not been well, honestly. And just like a lot of stressful life stuff going on with graduating and moving. I live in student housing right now, so I have to get out of here pretty soon, which is a real bummer because I love my apartment and I've spent so much time decorating it, and yeah, so it's just sad. And it's a lot of changes happening all at once, and yeah. So that's been my life recently, just been super sick and super stressed. But I wanted to do, instead of the video I was originally going to do, I wanted to do more of like just a podcast style and just do like finished objects, which I only have one of, whips, and then acquisitions, just like the standard knitting podcast formula to kind of get back in to the swing of filming and everything. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. And yeah, oh, I'm Maddie, by the way. Hi, my name is Maddie. I go by That's What Skeen Said here and on Instagram if you want to follow me there. And yeah, I like to knit, and I'm a college student and almost not a college student, which is crazy. But yeah, anyway, hi, and let's get started. So, for finished objects, like I said, I only have one, and it is finally, I made a pair of mittens for my boyfriend. He got the same yarn as the ones I made for my dad, if you do recall the infamous rustic man mitts that I made for my dad for Christmas. My boyfriend finally got a pair of these, and yeah, I don't love the thumb gusset on these. I feel like I kind of went up too high. Like, it's just kind of like a web. It's hard to explain, but yeah. He likes them. They don't fit perfectly, but at this point I was just glad that I finally made him some mittens and got that off my list of things to do. But yeah, I think this wool is super rustic, but once you block it and wash it, it softens up and it blooms really nicely. So I really like the feel of these. It's held double, so they're nice and squishy, and it's my boyfriend's mittens. So one of my goals for this year was to become more of a monogamous knitter. I am not at all. I have at least 3 projects going all the time. So yeah, I wanted to focus more on just like 1 or 2 projects at a time. But because I was so sick and so bored, I casted on a bunch of stuff when I was feeling better. And then when I got the tonsillitis, though, I couldn't do any knitting for a week. Like, that's how sick I was. It was just not even an option for at least a week. But yeah, so I have 1, 2, 3, I'm going to call it 3.5 things currently on the needles, garments currently on the needles, and then my Sophie scarf is the project I've been taking to class and working on in class, but that hasn't seen much action because I haven't been going to class. So, oh, I guess I should have grabbed that to show you, though. I'll go get it. Ugh, feeling generous. We will start with my first ever Sophie scarf. I'm doing the long version. What is on this? Sorry, it's in my purse. Yeah, so I'm doing the long version, so we're about halfway done with this, and it's honestly much longer than I would expect. This is pretty lengthy. But yeah, so this is the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit, the infamous Sophie scarf. Everybody's seen this a million times, not much to say. I'm using some Blue Sky Fibers alpaca blend. I don't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, I bought this a long time ago for another project. The ply of this makes every knit stitch look twisted, which I really don't like that look, so I thought using it for a garter stitch project would be perfect, and it's working up really nice. It's super soft. Love this color. Yeah, so this will hopefully get done within the next week or so, now that I'm back in class. And yeah, that's the Sophie scarf. Okay, my next project, I will show you kind of in order of when I casted these on, is my Prima pullover by Starcross Knits. And as you can see, guys, this is a full garment now. I just have the collar left, so I need to take off this provisional cast on and do the folded off the shoulder collar on this. I am obsessed with the shaping on this. Like, it's just so beautiful. Look at that. Like, the bust increases and then the hip short rows and how it has like that princess cut. And then the sleeves have thumb holes, which is my favorite thing ever. I wish everything ever had thumb holes. I think they're the best. Oh god, this project has been... if I never do 2x2 rib again in my life, it'll be too soon. I'm so sick of doing 2x2 rib, but it just is so perfect for this project. It's so stretchy and it just fits you. Like, the negative ease is just perfect in 2x2 rib, but I'm so sick of it. And this has been a work in progress since before Christmas. This is one of my longer whips ever, actually. So I'm ready to wrap it up, but I'm also just so sick of doing 2x2 rib that I never reach for this because it's driving me insane a little bit. But I'm so close to being done with it. I just need to sit down, take out the provisional cast on, and get it done, and like be done with it and have this beautiful sweater. This is being knit up in Barrico's Vintage. It's whatever Tamara recommends in the pattern. I bought the exact yarn. I believe the shade is Mocha. It's a really pretty kind of cool toned brown, which is exactly what I wanted. Sorry, I live on a main road, so there's buses all the time. I am so close to being done with this. I'm hoping within the next week. My goal was before Valentine's Day, and I think I'll definitely have it done before Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna hold myself to that and get this done. Next whip is also, we're getting towards the home stretch here. This is my Clematis sweater. So this is where we're at. I have the front is completely done. It's kind of hard to show you, but it's that, it's a, you know, like an asymmetrical, yeah. So that part is completely done, and I just cast it on, working the German short rows on my first sleeve. So now we're gonna do some decreases, and then it's stockinette from there out. So yeah, we are getting close on this one. I feel good about this. This one's been really fun to knit up because the yarn combo is just gorgeous. I'm using, this is also by Blue Sky Fibers. I think it's the same yarn actually as the red one, but it's in the shade Northern Lights, and it's just this beautiful like blue, purple, green. It's just gorgeous. The color is beautiful, and I'm holding it with Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in Fennel Seed. Initially I was going to do more of a close match color-wise, but I kind of liked the contrast because the Fennel Seed is kind of a light green, so I thought it made it look kind of like the Aurora Borealis. I don't know. I just think it's really pretty. And I will give you a close-up. The color's not going to pick up correctly, but just trust me that in person this is like stunningly beautiful. And it's, the fabric it's making is so soft and squishy and just like luxurious. I've been really enjoying this knit. It's been taking a while because it's on a pretty small gauge. It's well, I guess it's 4.5 millimeters, but I don't know, it just feels small to me because the yarn is a sport with a mohair, so it's pretty thin. I don't know, but yeah. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at this one and I'm not going to put any sort of time goal on this. I just want to enjoy this knit because it's been really fun, and I'm excited to wear it, but yeah, not going to rush it. It's another thing I'm going to work on this year is not putting too much pressure on myself to get things done by a certain date, even though I know I just said I want the Prima pullover done by Valentine's Day. That's just been like such a long process that I need an endpoint for that one. But in general, I'm just going to try to enjoy the process a bit more. I feel like I've been kind of a notorious product knitter and just wanting to get things done for the product, and it's been taking a toll on my wrists. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm having a lot of wrist pain, so I'm gonna work on, I don't know, like listening to my body or whatever, and just enjoying the process a bit more than just the product. So anyway, second to last current whip, we have, oh, I love this one. Oh, and this also kind of ties into my acquisition section. So I will talk about that, my first acquisition real quick. Guys, I got Noro Madara in the color Sake. Oh, this might be, no, it definitely is. This is my favorite yarn I've ever used. It is so beautiful. The colors in this are just, it's like a gray background color with just all sorts of colorful tweed worked into it, and it's silk. I think it's, let's look at the composition. 60% wool, 30% silk, 10% alpaca. So it's just the, oh my god, if I could knit with nothing but this yarn for the rest of my life, I would be happy. It's so gorgeous, and it works up so beautifully. I just love how this is coming together. So this is the Cardigan number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I mentioned this in another video, I think, but I have a lot of qualms with My Favorite Things Knitwear because she is not fully size inclusive, which is incredibly problematic and lazy. So I don't like to promote her on my channel, but this cardigan is just perfect for what I was looking for. I was really looking for a kind of oversized cardigan V-neck with pockets, and that's exactly what this is, and it uses yarn in the same gauge, and so I was like really conflicted about it because obviously I don't want to promote her, but she does have really good designs. They're just not inclusive. It's a real, it just sucks. Like, why be better? Anyway, that's a long ramble, and if anybody has any thoughts about like how to kind of navigate that, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this particular designer and what we are doing as a community to get this issue resolved, because she is such a prolific designer. Well, it's not our responsibility, but get her to realize the problem, I guess. Okay, I'm not the authority on this, please. Anyway, that was an incredibly long-winded explanation for my knitting of this garment, but this is the cardigan number 8, and I do have to say it is very well written, and I do like the shoulder construction. You just do make one right, make one left on each side, and then it makes this kind of back shoulder shaping, which I think is working up really well. So right now I am working on, I have my back stitches on hold and my front right stitches on hold. So I'm working on the left front panel, and then once this is done, joining everything and just working back and forth in stockinette. So yeah, this is one I've been reaching for a lot. I only casted this on last Monday, so it's only been on the needles for a week, but I've been just reaching for this a lot because I love this yarn. So I'm holding the Noro Madara with this Drops Kid Silk mohair. I think we all know about this one. This is in their shade Marzipan. It's kind of a nice beige, like off-white kind of, so it brings a little bit of warmth into the gray of the Madara, and I'm really liking how this is working up. I will say this mohair is shedding like crazy. I've used Drops Kid Silk before in my cardigan number 7, and I don't remember it shedding this much. I was working on this in class last week, and I had black leggings on, and I stood up to leave the class, and my leggings were just covered in mohair fluff. So that's something to think about for sure. The Madara was already such an investment. I wanted something cheaper for the mohair. So if you are looking to splurge though, I would definitely recommend doing this yarn held with a Knitting for Olive mohair, because I think that's just the best that I've ever used, and that would make such a beautiful fabric. But for the fact that I already spent so much on Madara, which I bought myself as a treat for being sick for so long, I just needed something to look forward to, honestly, and getting this in the mail was such a treat. So yeah, that's my cardigan number 8. Again, I would love to have a conversation with you guys about what we can do to make a difference for size inclusivity, and yeah, but working up really great. I love this yarn so much. So, oh, okay, so this is when I was talking about how I had 3.5. This is the half. So I am finally going to cast on a porcelain sweater. I can't wait. I've been thinking about this one for such a long time and just trying to figure out the perfect yarn for it, because I know it's going to be quite an endeavor. So I made my first, oh god, this is a mess. My first little swatch for this. Wow, this is a nightmare. Look at this. Do you guys see how tangled this all is? I made my first swatch for the porcelain sweater last night, and I am having just a bear of a time with this swatch. You can't really even tell. So this is the leaf section of the motif, and I wanted to try that and make sure I really liked this yarn combo, but you can't even tell that it's leaves because my tension is so bad. I haven't done color work in like a year, and so I'm just so out of practice. My tension has been a nightmare. My floats are a disaster. I'm glad I'm doing this swatch before I cast on the actual project to kind of get back into the swing of color work. I feel like I actually did a lot more color work when I very first started knitting. I was making a lot of little swatches of song lyrics and stuff because it was just kind of an approachable way to practice my knitting. I'll put a picture right there of some of them. But yeah, and then since then I really haven't done too much color work in the past year, so I figured the porcelain sweater, it's such like a timeless, beautiful piece that I thought it would be a good one to jump back into. For this sweater I am, again, this is more acquisitions as well, so it's kind of flowing into the same category, sorry, but I'm using Lion Brand Fisherman Wool. I'm actually very impressed with this yarn so far. I got the color Natural. It smells like lanolin, which I know some people hate that smell. I love the smell of lanolin. It reminds me of being a child. My mom used to put like this lanolin cream on, I have eczema, so my mom would put like this lanolin cream on my eczema. Sorry, this is kind of weird. So it just smells like being a child to me and like my mom. So it's very comforting. It's a very that was a very weird, long-winded story to say that it's a very comforting smell for me. So I really like the smell of lanolin and natural, unprocessed yarns. So yeah, I'm actually very impressed with this one so far. I will say it's kind of splitty when you're knitting it up, but it's not too much of a problem, and it just feels so nice and moisturizing because it's so lanolin-y. Lanolin-y? Yeah. Really liking this one so far, and it's such a good price for so much yarn. You gotta love that. So in the porcelain sweater, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna hold it with the same Drops Kid Silk mohair in Marzipan. I did have to order more of this because I'm using it for 2 projects, so I'm waiting on that. And then for the blue, I was at the Tea Cozy yesterday, and I found this Lopi Rustic. I think we've all seen this yarn as well, but it's this beautiful like cotton candy, blue, purpley, pinky. I was just obsessed with it, and they had 5 skeins left, and so I bought them all, and I was like, okay, I'll just swatch the porcelain sweater and see if I like this combo. I love it. Initially, my mom and I were gonna dye some of that Lion Brand yarn, but she hasn't heard this yet. Sorry, Mom. I'm going to use this for that project, but we will dye something else because she really wants to dye yarn. I really like how this turns out. I think it adds some cute dimension to the blue, and I'm going to hold it with this is all I have left from my cardigan number 7, but the Drops Kit Silk in light sky blue is what this is. I'm going to hold it together. I thought the blue mohair would kind of put a little bit more blue into the color scheme, and yeah, I really like how it's working up on this swatch. I just need to get my color work under control. Other than that, I only have one other acquisition, also from the Tea Cozy. I bought 2 skeins of this Peace Fleece DK Sport Weight in the shade Morning Dove. So this was in the Tea Cozy's sale section. If you haven't been, the Tea Cozy has the best sale section for their yarn. I love it. I always go straight there when I get there. They only had 2 skeins of this left, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. It's a DK Sport, and it is 80% merino, 20% Texas mohair. So that's interesting. It's just such a gorgeous color. I might try to find a couple more skeins online. When I was looking quickly in the store, I couldn't, they were sold out. So I'm hoping I can get my hands on some more of this because I would love a cardigan in this color or a sweater. I've been making so many cardigans. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's like this beautiful purpley mauve with flecks of gray and gray and wow, with flecks of orange was the color I was thinking of. Wow. With flecks of orange, white, black, gray. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, and it's a little bit itchy. Like, I'll be honest, it's a little bit rustic. But I think once it blocks, it'll do like the mittens did and just kind of bloom. That's the hope. Anyway, so yeah, this is my last acquisition of this episode. It's kind of a shorter episode. I feel like it's just nice to get back into the swing of things, and then I'll keep working on my Fix It or Frog It video. Hopefully that'll be up in the near future. And yeah, let me know what you guys are working on. I love to hear what you guys are up to. And let me know if you have any 2 skein suggestions if I can't get any more of this yarn. Suggestions for 2 skein projects for this. Yeah, anything else you guys want to chat about? I would love to chit chat in the comments. And yeah, like this video if you liked it. Sorry, I'm gonna do the YouTube thing. I haven't done this yet, but I feel like we're there. So yeah, like this video if you did like it. Hit the post notification button. Do I know what that does? No. Do I hear people say it? Yeah. So hit the post notification button and subscribe if you want to see more content about knitting and other fun tidbits I have to share. Alright guys, hopefully I will be back 100% feeling myself again next video. Thank you for bearing with me. I know my voice sounds a little weird and I just am kind of low energy right now, but thank you for being here, and I hope you have a great morning, day, night, evening, whatever, wherever you are. Thank you, and take care. Stay safe. Bye.